What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Chris Wrestling Views, of course, on YouTube.com. Do all the great things like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. Tell a friend and everyone. Also, before I get started this video, make sure you guys also check out my TikTok as well. Why did I say TikTok? TikTok. Make sure you check me out at Chris944, same way the Chris is spelled on here. So, of course, John Cena would come out, you guys, at the beginning of Friday Night SmackDown and pretty much came out to a thunderous pop, you guys, from the Montreal, Quebec, Canada crowd. The crowd was like livid. It was kind of like the same way of like when Rhea Ripley came out when they were in Houston, Texas a couple weeks ago. John Cena got that dang pop, you guys, and Cena was even surprised himself. There was like a little kid that I'm going to show you here in a second of how happy he was to see Cena, come to Montreal. And with that being said, John Cena would, talk about Brock Lesnar, say he was scared. He said anybody out there in the back that wants some, that can come get some, which Logan Paul did come out there. We knew Logan Paul was like that guy that wanted to pick on Cena. He's like one of the biggest heels that we got in WWE. Like, we thought Gunther was a heel, but I think Logan Paul is more of a heel than Gunther is. But that's just my personal opinion, you guys. And with that being said, Drew McIntyre would take out John Cena. Logan Paul wanted John Cena versus Logan Paul at Clash in Paris. After Cody Rhodes came out to fight out Drew McIntyre, that's when Cena said that he accepts, and that's when we got the match official. John Cena versus Logan Paul at Clash in Paris at the end of the month, which is August 31st. And then, of course, they did make a tag team match where it was going to be Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus John Cena and Cody Rhodes. And this was that kid I was talking about that was in the crowd. He was like screaming his face off, you guys. And it was like very crazy to actually see this fan, like this kid, be very emotional for Cena, because they were happy, man. Like, Cena only has a couple of months left, and he's gone. And I hope they do him in a great way, you guys, for his last match. But the main event, you guys, I want to talk about that real quick. John Cena and Logan Paul would end up fighting back there to the back. It was left in the ring where we had Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre was, pretty much out there because Logan Paul low blowed John Cena, and pretty much that called off the match. And sorry, you guys, I had to take a swig of water real quick. But anyways, Cody Rhodes would get Claymore into the table. Like, I didn't know that piece right there can actually break, you guys. I was like, dang. I was like, Cody Rhodes got sent through that pretty good. And we, of course, like I said, we got the match made official. Excuse me once again, you guys. Jeez. So, yes. What do you think about this match, you guys? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Of course, R-Truth would be backstage. Ron Killings, but he calls him R-Truth still. They would do like a little image thing to where, like, Cena was like, I'm back to my old self. I'm not that guy who I was when I fought you at Saturday Night's Main Event, when I had the championship, and I just made him evil and stuff like that. But JC Mateo and Tala Tonga would go one-on-one with the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin, and Alex Shelley. And I thought this match was pretty cool. But at the same time, we knew who was going to win. And with that being said, you guys, we ended up seeing where Tala Tonga ended up getting the pin, of course. I don't know why they won't let JC Mateo get the pin. And I'm still kind of wondering why Tonga Loa, while he's not in the match. He was dressed like he was ready to fight. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Solo would issue a challenge and said there was no competition there. But Montreal's own Sami Zayn from Monday Night Raw would come out there to face Solo, and of course Sami came out there and represented his people, and of course that crowd popped like crazy too for Sami Zayn. Of course, that's his hometown, but I'm like, goodness gracious, Sami Zayn would pick up the victory over Solo Sikoa. So it looks like Sami Zayn versus from one of his former Bloodline members, Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa could be made official for a clash in Paris. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think they should set that, set that up as well. So maybe we'll get Sami Zayn moving over to SmackDown, but it's really don't matter because superstars are showing up on both shows, which is kind of confusing to me. So we ended up getting the Wyatt Six, of course, talking backstage and hinting that, the Street Profits, will break up as a team. But we'll see what's going to happen there. I feel like that they are, especially with them having a match next week. And I'll tell you about that later on in the show. Dexter Lumis would talk with his creepy gimmick as he always do. And I think this was the part I was talking about. Candice LeRae was backstage and they were showing off her bruise. And of course, Street Profits, they were pretty much talking about how Johnny Gargano didn't care about Candice LeRae fell, but they would get a match made official for next week. Street Profits versus DIY. Could this go down to where Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins split up as a team? They did a celebration in the ring where Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair didn't put Bliss in there and had her name in the corner. So I was like, Alexa's gonna get fed up here soon, and they're gonna end up having a match at Survivor Series or something like that. But of course, you guys, this is where Charlotte Flair came out there and she introduced that the Charlie doll that Alexa Bliss gave to her 4 years ago. She wanted to give that to her as a gift again. And this, if you guys remember, this is when we had the Raw Women's Championship, and that's where Alexa would try to be nice to Charlotte, but Charlotte wasn't buying it, and she started ripping up the doll and everything like that. So yeah, it's pretty great storytelling, especially with these two here. And of course, we're definitely going to see a heel Alexa here within the next couple of months, maybe even sooner. Who knows? And also, I do believe that WWE will probably have her to get kidnapped or something by the Wyatt Six or something like that, and she'll come back and be possessed or something like that. I don't know, but that could be a thing. But of course, they did do Chelsea Green versus Alexa Bliss, and they had a new referee, you guys, and that referee was appointed to Alexa. And I was like, okay, cool, pretty cool referee. Maybe I think he should be able to be in all of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte matches or something like that. But we'll see. Of course, we seen the guy that WWE needs to push big time because they don't really do anything with him, which is Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes ended up running to The Miz, where The Miz came out of Nick Aldis' locker room and, said hey, man, you left me high and dry for 2 months. And why, I haven't heard from you or anything. And that's where The Miz ended up seeing Nick Aldis and, pretty much call him into his, thing, because I guess they wanted a tag title match or something like that. But of course, we did get where Keanu James and Julia were backstage, and Keanu James handed Jake Cargill a business card, and, they ended up doing to where Meechin wanted the business card because she wants to fight Julia. But then again, maybe they'll do. Maybe I really hope they do turn Jake Cargill heel, because I feel like that would definitely work more for her than a babyface. Now, of course, Aleister Black would talk about what he did to Damian Priest last week on Friday Night SmackDown, and what he did to Damian Priest on Friday Night SmackDown was definitely crazy, you guys, and say he was at home resting. And yeah, you guys, I can't wait to see them have a match, and I think they should have a big stipulation in their match as well, like a Falls Count Anywhere or something like that, at Clash in Paris. So we'll definitely want to see what's going to happen, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe to Chris Russell Reviews here on YouTube.com. Rating on this show, I would have to give it probably a 6 or 7 out of 10, you guys. Show wasn't the best, but it was at least cool. But anyways, you guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.